Drawing Club. Today we're going to talk about scale. And scale means, I know you're thinking something you weigh yourself on. Well, it does mean that, but it also means when we look at the sizes of different things compared to each other. Sometimes we see things like this. This is a drawing a little girl could do of her family, her mom and her dad and herself. Well, the little girl has drawn a nice picture of herself, but you can see here's her mom and here's her dad. Well, they're all about the same size. And I know that in real life, this little girl is quite a bit smaller than her family, than her parents. Another thing we see is mom's head is real tiny and dad's head is real giant. We're going to talk about scale. It's important when we're drawing that we take care with the size of what we're drawing. And this means a couple of different things. One thing it means is we don't want to see drawings where you are given this great big beautiful piece of white paper and teacher says, okay, everybody, I want you to draw a picture of you and your family. And you say, okay, I'm going to draw a picture of me and my mom. And there we are. And it's a very nice picture. And look, you're even smaller than mom. And you think, okay, I'm being careful with scale. I'm smaller than my mom and I have drawn it. And there it is. Well, if your teacher gives you this nice big piece of paper and they say, draw a picture of your family, they are not telling you to draw a picture like that. If your teacher gives you a nice big piece of paper, it's because they want to be able to see the picture on this big piece of paper. If they wanted you to draw a small piece, they would save paper and they'd give you a small piece of paper and cut it into pieces and give lots of other kids small pieces of paper. So keep the size of your drawings reasonable. If your teacher gives you a big piece of manila paper, it's because they want you to fill that up. And when we're working on posters, they want you to draw nice big pictures that take up a lot of space, because on a poster you have to be able to see it across the room. So here's another example. Here we've got just kind of the beginning of a drawing, and this is the correct scale. It takes up a lot of space on the picture, on the piece of paper, and we have a tall grown-up and a shorter kid. Here's another example. Tall grown-ups, shorter kids. Another thing when we're talking about scale is something close up or is it far away? And you all know that when something is close to you, it looks bigger. And then when we look at things that are far away, they can look really small, like ants. So you know when you're looking at this picture, you're not looking at a picture of a giant cat, are you? You're looking at a picture where a cat is close and far away. Off in the distance, we see a tree and a man. So that is how scale works as well. One last little thing. I'm not going to draw a full picture, but I do want to show you one way that you can work on your scale as far as drawing characters near each other who are different sizes would be to start off with the eyes. So start with your tall character. And you know when you're drawing eyes, you're not going to have a whole lot more going on way high up because our heads don't go gigantic. So unless you're planning to draw a great big hat, you probably are going to not need a whole lot of space above the eyes. And if you start with the eyes, then you know how tall your character is going to be. And let's say I'm drawing a mom. And later on I'm going to fill in more detail. but I know that her child is going to be about this tall. I think this kid's probably about your age. Their heads are not that different in size because you pay attention. Your head is probably smaller than a grown-up's head, but not like a ton smaller. It's not way, way, way smaller. So we don't want to make the head super teeny tiny just because it's a kid. So you can see that if I were to continue this picture, the size is going to be about right. I'm going to have a kid. Their feet are going to go down to the bottom of the paper. And as I add more detail in, it's going to make sense. So I started with the eyes, and it just helps me to figure out. Now, different people have different ways of doing it. That's just how I do it. I want you to draw a picture that has scale today and work on making realistic scale. Now, that's not a very realistic scale arm. Her arm was too skinny. But okay, get to work, have fun. I can't wait to see what you've done. Have a good day. Bye-bye.